Hello and welcome back to another episode of Harvester. I'm your host, Euclidean Mind, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Boo. Say hello, Boo. Didn't even have to prompt it. So,
I'm not a puppet.
You're not a puppet. So, last episode we had some technical difficulties. The recording did not hold. OBS must have... Somehow the file got corrupted. So, in this episode, we covered a lot of ground. This episode, we're going to cover some highlights of what we did last time in the episode. It was about an hour long, so you may have missed out on some content here, but we're going to wrap it up nice for you. We're going to visit some places and show you the people we talked to and cover kind of what happened. See if we can get some key events going.
We had technical difficulties.
Yeah. The file didn't hold. So this is Colonel Buster Monroe. Sort of a short fuse. And as you can tell, he's sort of the main guy here at this military base in the nuclear silo at Harvest. And sort of mentally unstable. And guys just...
Who goes there? It's
here,
just me.
See if we can get something going here.
What do you want? Did the llamas send you? That's good. Someone has to keep them in check. I'm glad you stopped by again. I want you to infiltrate those firemen, mister. There's a lot of art going on over there. I want to make sure they haven't turned into commie bastards. You got that? And don't come back unless you've got information for me.
Okay. So he has delusions of grandeur and just plain old delusions. He wanted me to be an informant on people in Harvest. He does not trust the lodge, and he does not trust the firemen. There was an instance to where when he had his, body blown up, and blown in half, and he had to crawl from Germany to London during WW2. And when he got back, they wouldn't re-enlist him into the military. They sent him to Harvest, and first thing he wanted to do was active duty, and he went to the fire station, and they turned him down because he had a problem with drawing nude men all the time. If you watch previous episode, you'll notice there's a thing with that in the fire station. Let's see if there's something in here I can re-trigger with him. Let's do this. I can spell right.
Son, when you've had your body shot in half, you know a thing or two about fear. You learn that when something actually happens, it's never as bad as you imagine it would be. Oh, sure, I can't write my name in the snow. I had to shell out a few simoleons for portable IV drips, colostomy bags, and so on. The pain is hardly what I'd call constant. I have my good days when I pass out completely. We're never asked to endure more than we're capable of handling, mister. Folks would die in a nuclear holocaust, but nobody would die who wasn't going to die anyway, sooner or later. And the rest of us? Why, we'd take a little R&R at the old radiation bunker, climb out in 2 weeks, and go back to work, refreshed and ready to contribute as productive members of society again. Makes me wonder why I don't just push the button and take me a nice vacation. Can you give me any reason why I shouldn't?
And we don't want him to do that, so it would be nice, Colonel, but we've all got orders to follow.
You're right, soldier. I'm sorry. Sometimes the intense pain clouds my mind. The kookaburras start whispering to me about the pretty mangoes in the high trees, and I know they can see me. They see all of us. Can't you hear them? Chattering with the llamas behind our backs? They want our cornflakes, but they won't take the milk!
And this is where we kind of say goodbye.
Can cover.
So we're going to save right here. I'm going to save too. So this kind of gives you a little colorful image of the mental state of Colonel Buster Monroe. Then heading over to the post office. Nothing real nice to see here.
I subject the term colorful image with Picasso kind of like, imagery.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we found some stuff along the way. So when we get to the TV station, if you remember Hank the little shit, he was watching a cowboy show. That's Range Rider. And we went there. He was a peculiar fellow, really wrapped up in his own world. And we got a signed autograph for him. Maybe we'll do something, maybe we won't. We're also going to take a little visit over to the meat plant again. We got a permission slip. And what was this for again? Permission slip.
It was to get your father to sign it.
With sign it, we can get a piece of meat from the guy there.
Yeah, the guy who had a weird temperament.
Yeah. And then over at the police station, we got an adult magazine from the general store. There's a weird, yes, there's a weird fellow named Loomis, Deputy Loomis. And his wife beats him with a broom, and he stains the mattress over at the police station. We'll just take it for what it is at the moment. And he can't buy magazines at the general store because the owner of the store, Mrs. Phelps, knows Mrs. Loomis, and Mrs. Loomis won't have any of it. So we're getting in those magazines, so he'll give us something in return. Over at the burned newspaper factory, we also found a shovel, a burnt bakery flyer, and a button. And this button belongs to this gentleman right here, Postmaster Boyle, who would not give us an application for the lodge. We wanted one. It says we have to come back next month. Don't think we have a month's worth of time with everything that's going on here in Harvest. And he was a little forward with his aggression when we showed him and talked about the button. And also, there's a blind woman over here trying to read her mail.
That poor blind lady.
Sorry, son, no time to talk. Neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor hell shall keep the mail from its appointed rounds.
So let's actually just talk about this application real quick.
I certainly don't wish to discourage you from joining, young man. That's just what you should be striving for. But I can't break the rules for you. You keep trying. You'll get in eventually.
And we could not convince him to give us the...
Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
For him to give us the master copy so we can make a copy, because there's a copy machine at the general store. Maybe there's something that happens that lets us do that in the future. There's nothing else to click over here, so we're going to leave this area. So like I said, we're just going to do quick recaps of the area, and we're going to try to mosey on through town as best as we can.
Oh, you didn't go over to school?
We will.
Okay.
And this is Mrs. Phelps' general store. We noted that the sign here is broken. The store was broken into. And I think there's a connection here between our memory and this time at Frozen at 4:05. Made note of this. Debris over here.
Also, to note, she's really homophobic.
She is really homophobic. So we got the copy machine right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at her shelf real quick. We have stuff like this wrench, which we can possibly buy. Also, we spent the 25 cents we had to get the porno mag. It's the 50s.
We need that sweet, sweet porno mag.
We need it for Loomis. Loomis is going to give us something good for it. And electrical tape, possibly get that in the future. A cow is bleeding a robust coffee on the Harvest Blend coffee can labels. Something Japanese there. Okay, so we're going to back out of this. We're gonna talk to her real quick.
Hello, Steve. Care to buy anything today? Okay, dear. You check back if you decide there's anything you want. I'll be happy to help you. Come back soon.
Okay, so we're gonna pop out of here. Post office, barbershop, our house, military base, lodge. We're not going to lodge just yet. It's one of the last things we're gonna do. So the meat plant. This gets a little disturbing here. See, these are the image is not that great. You know, it is, you know, an older adventure game. You got blood stains here, bloody tire tracks. Someone's been driving up. There's cats everywhere. These are cats. See? Meow, 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 meow. Cats everywhere. This one's playing with blood. We're gonna take a look at this. This used to be a kitty cat. This was horrible. We first came and saw this, we were quite horrified.
Can't talk now, Steve. I've got to hose out some entrails.
Some cats.
What's with all the cats? This a slaughterhouse or a kennel?
Oh, them? They eat the scraps, that's all.
Yeah, but look at... Isn't there some kind of health department that keeps tabs on these things?
Are you going to work at the health department, Steve? Or here? That's good to know. Your father will be very happy if he recovers.
My point was only, you shouldn't allow animals in the food processing area, right?
We don't let them get into the meat. That's unsanitary, and the health department wouldn't stand for it. There's things you don't know about the family business, but you'll learn.
Let's see if we can prompt
image
image here.
Business is not for everybody. Just ask your poor, ill dad. It takes dedication and a strong stomach. A lot of times, when I'm finished scrubbing up and digging the bits of intestine out from my fingernails, I must confess I don't have much appetite for red meat. But red meat is one of the principal food groups, and you've got to have it. So when you can do this all day and help yourself to a juicy red steak afterwards, then by golly, you can call yourself a butcher. Of course, amnesia would certainly help that, wouldn't it? Don't be such a stranger, Steve, and my best to your dad.
So this progresses into a unhealthy dialogue of meat, your father, amnesia, and him being an all-around just unsettling weird dude. So that's Pat O'Reilly. Oh boy. Oh, O'Reilly. And we're out of here.
Auto parts.
Cat parts.
No!
I know, it's horrible. And here's one of the spots that disturbed us the most. This is Gein Memorial School. There was a plaque that was somewhere in town, got removed and was taken to the lodge, talking about who this school was named after. I mean, we could take a healthy guess, maybe Ed Gein, serial killer, but you know, you never know. Maybe there's a Pat Gein or a Jonathan Gein. Yeah. And this is El Creepo himself, Principal Harrell. And he won't let us touch the fire alarm. And this is where we took the shovel out and we killed him. Just for the heck of it. So we're gonna exercise that for you once here. So I stop stuttering. Look at that. We're like the Wayne Gretzky's of serial killing. Go! Alright, we're going to quickly load back our progress here. So we're going to talk to him and you're going to see why. He used to work at the newspaper factory, and after that burnt down, and there's some we are suspicious that maybe he's one of the main suspects of that. But he came to work here, and he talks a lot about being happy to be the principal, shaping young minds, and providing quality time. And he keeps calling us big guy, and he wants to give us some quality time, and he wants us to join the lodge.
Seeing you here again, one would think you'd never graduated. Nostalgia is a waste of time, big guy. You need to move forward, and if you ask me, the lodge lies firmly in that direction.
So, let's talk about the Sentinel newspaper.
Boy, I sure miss the old newspaper. The sheriff never did investigate that fire properly. Call it a newspaper man's instinct, though I can't imagine why Sheriff Dwayne would cover up anything. I mean, the only ones who stood to profit from the newspaper going out of business was the owner of the TV station, and Mr. McKnight had an airtight alibi. Still, if not for the fire, I never would have wound up as principal of Gein Memorial.
We're talking about quality time. This is when stuff got really weird. I mean, the talks were weird to begin with, but...
What do you mean, quality time?
Some, like Miss Whaley, favor stern discipline, corporal punishment, as a means of socialization. Myself, I temper discipline with love. Quality time can be such a warm, sharing experience. After just a few sessions, you'd stop this amnesia nonsense and become a productive member of society and a fit candidate for the lodge.
Okay. Let's do one more so you can get a real good feeling. I think this is the one.
Why do you keep calling me big guy?
A sign of respect, lad. As principal, my station is higher than yours now, but you never know what the future holds, so you should always hedge your bets and pay tribute to your inferiors. You never know who will come to power, or who, even now, wields it behind the scenes. For all I know, you might already be a member of the order, with access to the lodge. If that were the case, you'd be my superior, and I'd be all that much better off having shown you respect and spent some quality time with you.
So you get the feeling.
Drop in again soon. Adult education is a wonderful thing, as is adult quality time.
Let's go ahead and save. Cutouts look stunned and zombified. So do these children.
Stephen, I'm glad you're here. As a graduate of Gein Memorial, you're a perfect example of what I'm trying to impress upon my class. That discipline forms the leaders of tomorrow.
This may spawn the video.
We don't practice corporal punishment here. I've never believed in that old adage, spare the rod and spoil the child. A rod is too thin, but a baseball bat? That bridges the generation gap quite nicely. Oh dear, Colonel Monroe is conducting another air raid drill. Everyone into the hallway, quick!
Let's make it a little hard to watch right here.
If an A-bomb hits, what good is it gonna do to duck and cover?
My stars, that was exciting. Stop by anytime, Stephen.
And that's when we pulled out the shovel and killed her. We're not going to do that just yet. We want to know what's going on before we start doing.
Well, she deserves it.
She does deserve it. And Indians here. These are people dressed up as Indians, not Indians themselves, and they're all drinking and smoking as they ignore me. So we're gonna head on in. Range Rider.
Can't talk now, Buckaroo. We're on in just a sec.
Yeah, we talk about TV violence.
What about it?
We don't want to give away we're not with them, so we're gonna say, you know, hey, we love it.
What red-blooded American doesn't? Nothing like an exploding head to get the blood pumping. Literally, that is.
Even so, do you think society pays a heavy price for the violence in the media?
Of course they pay a heavy price. Just look at the net profits. They'll line up around the block to see a good slaughter. Now, excuse me, we're going back on the air.
And that's when we picked up the autograph from him. This is WHAR. And we can't mess with the wall safe. There's a picture here. We lifted the picture. We found a wall safe. We mess with it, we'll get in trouble. So, we're not going to do that just yet.
Don't hurry back.
And he's too busy to talk with us, so kind of missed out on that dialogue. He's really supremely douchey. It's the only way I can put it. And we have Edna's Diner, which everyone calls DNA's Diner because the E is out of power. The neon, sort of fried. Drawer here, we found a screwdriver. This is our little girl, Karen. Nice lady. Sheriff Dwayne. And he's a big figure in town. Literally and figuratively. And Edna. And last time we talked to her, she was spouting some nonsense about the lodge. And it was kind of like her mind was controlled for a second. Let's see
I can't talk now. The dishes are stacked up and back, and I better take advantage of the lull.
Let's see, lodge.
The lodge is the repository of all wisdom. You should join the Order of the Harvest Moon, Steve. And soon.
Why? For God's sake, what is it about this place?
The wheat ripens and waits not for the scythe. The farmer who waits too long, it were better that he use the scythe to rip his own stomach out than to stay his side when the wheat ripens. The harvest moon wanes and then comes winter. An empty belly, the body sun's belly, gurgling within or bloody on the ground. What does it benefit a man if he gains his soul and loses the world? You hunger. Feed yourself before it's too late. Oh.
Edna?
Steve. What happened? Were we talking about Boyle? Or was it Karen?
You seemed strange there for a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress. Running this diner all alone. Forgive me.
Alright, so we obviously know something is up with her. And oh, it's never good. Never good. Lodge is evil. People here are evil, and they're creepy. And if they're not talking about my penis or wanting to draw men or wanting to beat children to death or however, you know, game's horrifying.
Stop by anytime, Steve.
Not in a jump scare way, but you would not want to live here ever way. We're gonna visit the police station last because we have something that he wants. Deputy Loomis. Here's where we found the shovel, and we dug out the spot, and we came across ashes, and here was the bake sale flyer and the post office pin for Postmaster Boyle. That was about all there was here. 3 fire hydrants and the building still burned down. Yeah, I think it was on purpose. Fire station. I think we already visited the fire station last episode.
Yeah, we did.
And I think we did that in the Wayward Hotel also. And we found nothing at the cemetery.
Yep.
We had the ledgers from the Shady Oaks Mortuary and the Wayward Inn. And the name Rhinecliffe keeps coming up. Jonathan A. Rhinecliffe, I think. The abandoned house, I believe that's the Wasp Lady's house. Potsdam's residence. And Deputy Loomis says if we bring him the magazine while the chief is out at DNA's diner, he would give us something. There's also a locked evidence room that we're thinking that's probably what we're going to gain access to.
Oh, by George. Oh, by Jiminy. Oh, this here's the real thing. Oh, can I have it?
Oh, sure.
Oh, thank you, Steve. Excuse me, kiddo. I gotta go check the jail for clean tiles.
Okay, this is where we try to search his desk for keys or something. Hold on, drawer was locked. How did we open it? Evidence. Sheriff Dwayne's checkbook. Same with a note. Dang it. What did that... Oh, man. Damn my clicky fingers. We can view the note. Sheriff, if you think I'm going to keep paying this something, you are crazy. There are limits. Boyle. Oh, if you think I'm going to pay this forever, you are crazy. There are limits. Boyle. There's a copy stain. So he was reading it casually, I'm guessing. Guessing he didn't take it too serious if he's staining it. Deposit Boyle. Deposit Boyle. Deposit Boyle. Deposit. Check 716. Edna's. So he aided Edna's. Boyle. Deposit WHAR. So he's been to the radio station. Boyle. Tulips ammunition. It's tax deductible. Boyle. Do a quick save. Let's go ahead and get that key out. All right. Examine doll. Not surprisingly, Loomis has tainted this evidence. Oh Lord, Loomis. File cabinets, more unsolved cases. This prop helps the sheriff meets his parking ticket quotas. Cabinets are empty. Padlock. Sturdy padlock with slightly tarnished finish. Come on. A nifty little evidence shelf. The most improbable of all murder weapons. Toast. Toast to that. Bottle. Clearly an impertinent little vino with a big nose and a woody finish. Wine jargon. Engine. A VW engine sits rusted to the core. Plunger. Look out for the tiny ball man. Gas can, an empty gas can. I'll take that. Dartboard. A real old-fashioned dartboard, riddled with holes and crimson smears. Santa hat. A vital clue in the mysterious Jolly Fat Man murder spree. Sneakers. A pair of bloody sneakers. Ah, we can give those to Jimmy. Lawn dart. This makes sense. They're illegal. Cigarettes. Harvest has its own brand of smokes. Hat. He did not like the green eggs and ham, so they killed him. Shaving kit. This bathroom kit is missing its razor. Camera and InstaShot camera, just point and click. That's cool. Cap, a baseball cap too small to fit the head of a normal sized man. Beer. The beer is empty except for tar sediment, so someone's spit cup. Plane. Well built, 1/48 scale B-17 model. Binoculars. A pair of binoculars without lenses. Bear. A fuzzy bear wielding a chainsaw. Fridge. From the smell of it, you wouldn't want to open the refrigerator. But I kinda do want to open it. Right, don't think there's anything else in here.
Hello, Steve. Where's Loomis?
Coming around, I'm out, Mr. Gum. Whoa.
No!
Loomis, damn you.
Wait, no. No! No!
Straining up the mattress again. Folding up the towels. Child snake!
I'm glad everyone was there for that. Mistakes were made, Loomis. Mistakes were made.
Poor Loomis.
Poor Loomis. Poor Loomis indeed. Door's locked. And we're gonna leave while the getting's good. Alright. This is where we're going to be wrapping up this episode. If we make them too long, I fear that, the file may be corrupt due to time length. So, thank you for tuning in. This has been Euclidean Mind and Boo. This has been another episode of Harvester. Say bye till next time, Boo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.